What's up, y'all? It's Liyah The Libra, and I wrote a quick 16 before the show starts. Meek with the win and losses to win that pain is expensive. Craven Kruger, Lee Freddy, but run the show like I'm Benson. A drug to be Hollywood, ain't no puppet, keep that attention. They back with Benz to defend it, I'm solid without a mention. Jeans is purple, crown the royal. Got some rats that say they loyal. Money jam, I make it spread like Smucker's fruit of the soil. Check my circle, just incredible. Move some over like decimals. Signed, sealed, and delivered. What's near to me ain't accessible. That money out your wallet, do I stare at the devil? If the neck is clean from the chain, say do I care for the vessel? No, that pain is birthed in a monster that ain't daring to settle. Foot to necks like I push the pedal, Libra wearing the metal. The section best and word to stretch, where as they come, so word to rock. They make the 10 and disrespect me. 2 ain't 2, I'm at the top. Basket full, don't know my cards, I'm on the clock. I get in chopped, don't recognize me when I'm up. The ones they hate just know they watch. Patrice, they rushing, I perfected, so my crowd forgive me not. Till Uncle Larry plants his water, Nemo space of different pots. Kid got whiz, I shoot for essence. Every loss I took a blessing. They get real, you don't address them. Tell them can't leave the dot. Respect the ones that paid the path, respect the ones that paid the fee. And when they speaking of the team, it's YFS, we play for keep. Stuck to the Cobain, Roca Polo. Mine a book that's keeping photos. Fit the ones who need opinion, then they play the moving solo.
Ooh, that was
That's
nice.
hard. And you just wrote that?
Yep, just wrote that.
What was the inspiration?
Excited to be here.
Hey.
Bronx to being late. That's what it was.
I was gonna say impatience.
Had to keep myself busy.
Yeah, that was fire though.
That was fire.
Appreciate
Yeah,
you.
talent, nothing but talent. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem.
Yeah, man. Shout out Liyah The Libra.
Yeah,
Grateful to be here.
Appreciate you coming through. So let's just get into our partnerships real quick before we get into the show. Shout out to Monterey Bay Creations.
You dream it, we created, custom apparel, whatever you guys need, we got you guys.
Hey, also going to give a shout out to Definitely Eatin'. Go ahead and hit up definitellyeatin.com. Go ahead and check out latest merch. You know, they got new beanies, new snapbacks. And yeah, man, go give them
And it's a restock,
follow.
I think, too, of the black beanies, the nice ones that everybody always want to get their hands on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I never got my hands on those, so now that I do, man, I'm not gonna lie, it's fire.
You're on it.
Shout out to the Fish House. Shout out to the Fish House in Watsonville. Go get you some good food.
Bro, I'm going to have to go stop there now because I work out in Watsonville now.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, let us know what it's like, man. Bring you back a plate.
Yeah, I'll bring everybody a plate. Yeah,
Are
for
you?
sure.
All
Yeah.
right, well, now you just said that. So
I got you, fool. I
See, I'll
got
make
you.
it happen.
Film.
Also, shout out conglomeratebythesea.com. Go ahead and check them out. If you need a crew neck, Slide Through
Hit us
podcast crew
up.
neck, go ahead and get that. Ricky, what's the
The last one's called Fit and Fresh. Association with them. We're going for at least 20 pounds this month. I dropped 3.5 this week. So I'm starting my 4th week. So we'll see how much in a month. And it's just eating their meals, which, like I said, they're fire. I haven't gotten tired of them eating them 3 times a day. Like, it's dope and it's working. Of course, you got to work out, do some cardio, but just eating healthy is just better for a lifestyle anyways.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's
the
dope.
goal is what?
To drop at least 20 pounds or drop down to 150 at least. Started at 250. Started at 269.
I was about to say, bro, what?
It started at 269. I'm at 254.5. So this week I want to drop those 4.5 so I can hit like 150 and shit.
Okay.
I guess a little milestone and shit.
All right. Last but not least, if anybody out there wants to go ahead and maybe start their own podcast or start something like that, but don't know how to go about it, or maybe not even have a location on where to do it, go ahead and hit us up at Slide Through Podcast on Instagram. We can go ahead and help you get started, and if you need a location or just need any tips or pointers on how to go ahead and get that up and running, we can go ahead and help you. So hit us up. Until further ado, though, Liyah The Libra. How you doing?
Doing good. How are
Appreciate
y'all?
you coming through.
No problem.
Sorry to keep y'all waiting.
No.
It's all good.
She wrote a diss
She wrote
on
a
you
diss?
like while you were
Okay.
gone. Yeah.
Fuck.
She
What, call
she
it
saved
this?
it for the end.
She's like, I'm gonna flame him as soon as he gets here.
Man. Liyah, how you doing?
Doing good. Grateful to be here. Blessed.
Okay. What you been up to lately?
Lately, had some health issues. Got over that, but other than that, traveling, writing,
Okay.
normal life.
That's
Okay.
awesome. And let me start from the beginning, because I know we were talking before the whole episode even started about how we heard from you. and how we started getting to know you. But as soon as we found out about you, we were like, oh, she's fucking dope. We got to get her on.
Appreciate you.
What was it that kind of got you started in music, or what was it that kind of gave you that inspiration?
It was my uncle. His name's Rick. But he was in Seahorse Records back in '98 here in Seaside. But I was 7 and I was living in LA, and he was writing and I was just watching him. And then, what's crazy is I quit rapping when I was 7 because I couldn't find a word that rhymed with orange. And he was trying to explain to me that, there's half rhymes. Stuff doesn't have to, completely rhyme. Didn't care about that, quit. But then a week after that, I picked up a notebook, and from then it was just
At 7
smooth.
years old?
Yep, at 7.
Damn. Did you find a word that rhymes with orange?
No, not really. Not at that time. Now I know how to rhyme with orange, though.
Okay. I just
Now
want
she
to
could
say...
rhyme all the colors, fool.
Ooh,
Yep.
Yeah.
Crazy.
The rainbow.
Yeah.
Skittles.
That's awesome.
I just want to say, sometimes I be hearing rappers and I'd be like, yo, should I start rapping? I feel like I can do that. But then I listen to artists like you and I'd be like, nah, I'm going to stay in my own lane because ain't no way I can go ahead and do what she's doing, man. You are very talented.
I appreciate that.
It's crazy the way you be spitting your shit. I was slapping your album earlier,
Appreciate
and
that.
I can honestly say straight playthrough from beginning to the end. Like I didn't even need
That's
to skip
my
anything.
goal.
Yeah,
Grateful
No
to hear that.
skips.
great music. So you said your uncle got you kind of into rap, right?
Yeah.
You said you started rapping like at 17, but when did you really start like, oh, let me take this for real, for real. This is what I really want to do. Let me start.
For real, it was probably like 12, 13.
Okay.
I've always been speaking in church, and I used to do like monologues and like stand before church. I still speak for the church, but then as I started branching out and listening to hip hop, I was like, oh no, I can actually do this. Like if I can speak in church and stand in front of people, then I know I can get in a notebook and write because I'm so good doing it in front of the church people. I just have to channel it a different way. And once I figured it out, I was like, oh yeah, we're good.
Hey.
That's dope. You were telling us earlier about a contest that you did, and that's what really got you pushing. And it was that
Yeah.
young. You say you were 17. So tell us a little more about that.
Okay, I was a junior in high school, and Eric Bellinger had a competition. It was called the King's Challenge, and all you had to do was do a quick 16 to the bars that he had. The beat, excuse me. And I put it up there, and it was on Twitter, and I was like, he's not going to see it because Eric Bellinger is Eric Bellinger. That's what I thought
Yeah.
at the time, especially being 17. And he was the first person to see it, actually. And he retweeted it, and he said, sheesh. And I was
Okay.
like, oh, wow. Then he DM'd me, and he was like, can I repost this, on my page? You're a part of the challenge. And as time progressed, I was kind of nervous because most of the people had 52,000 followers. At that time, I only had 700 followers. And I won the challenge. And what ended up happening was he flew me out to LA March of 2019, I believe.
Okay.
Right after his Rebirth 2 album. And after that, smooth sail. I went in there, and it was only supposed to be a feature for the competition.
Right.
And what ended up happening was I went in the booth, and he was like, who is that? And then from there, a relationship was built.
Okay, that's crazy that you bring that up because that was one of my questions too. Because I seen the picture, I was like with you and Eric Bellinger, and I was like, how does that relationship even come about? So it's kind of dope to see that when artists like that do go ahead and put a challenge out there, they really go ahead and follow through with the people
Yeah.
that they find talented. That's what's up.
Yeah, that's an awesome way to get discovered, I think, especially by somebody you respect. That
Yeah, he was my
Yeah.
favorite artist, still is. Crazy.
So you met at 19 is when he flew you out and
No, it was about 17. Same.
still? Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. So
How'd your parents feel about that? You flying out there?
My
to-
mom at first was skeptical because she was like, oh, well, the music industry, anything can happen. The thing with R. Kelly was going on at the time. So she was really in arms, and she was like, oh, nah. But then as my mom talked to Eric personally, and he reassured her that everything was going to be okay. And then my uncle and aunt went with me the first time that I met Eric to make sure that everything was solid. And once they got a good feel for him, they were like, oh, no, he's good people.
what was that like? Meeting it's like a celebrity. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So
It was crazy because once again I was in high school and trying to tell all my friends what was going on and everything happening. I was like, oh wow. And when I first met him, it was kind of surreal because I was like, wow, I'm standing right in front of him. But then I thought I was gonna be one of those fangirl people falling on the floor and all that stuff. But once I saw him, I was like, nah, this is an opportunity to show him who I really am.
Right.
And that's when I tapped into I think one of the greatest versions of myself. And I was like, okay, show him what you have. This is your one shot. And most people don't get that opportunity. So
Yeah.
do what you know to do.
Yeah, especially so young too.
Right.
So, is there anything that? Well, I'm sure you learned a lot from him, but is there anything specific or in particular that kind of stuck out that he told you about maybe the music industry that you didn't know about going into it?
To just be yourself. Don't ever try to do anything or be anything that you're not. Just give them your best self, and the realest people are going to be drawn to you, and the ones that aren't supposed to be around you just aren't supposed to be around you.
Right.
And one of the first things that he taught me was my hooks. When I first came in, my hooks were long, and he was like, you have to keep them short and sweet. They have to be catchy, and he taught me how to write a hook on one of the first days that I met him.
Okay.
So right off the bat, he was just
Right off the bat, just a sponge.
there you go.
How often do you guys communicate? Do you go over there often, or how does that work?
I'm traveling to LA often anyway because I have family down there. But when
Okay.
I am down there, I let him know. I'm like, hey, maybe I could, if you're in town. Most of the time he's out of town.
Yeah.
But I do see him and talk to him regularly.
It's a busy dude, man.
Yeah, busy dude. Works with a lot of people.
Yeah. How do you go ahead and deal with like maybe self-doubt, you know, like at the beginning when you said you posted that intro to his challenge, you were like, oh, there's people with 52,000 followers. I only got 700. How do you go ahead and get out of that mind frame? You know what I mean?
Prayer.
Okay.
Prayer. It's God first always. And, you know, I do have my self-doubts. I do have my fears because, you know, sometimes I think that I'm not good enough at times, but then I have to remind myself that greater is he that's in me than he that is in the world. And that's what keeps me calm and level-headed.
Did he help you out with frequency, or was that something that you kind of...
That was something that was already wrote, and
Okay.
then I went there and I recorded it, and then it was dropped under the label. But that was my life story that I put together on my own. Everything that I write is all me.
Okay. The frequency.
So when you say that's your life story, like you start like struggles from the beginning, everything trauma.
Yeah, and as I'm
how you
growing out of
overcome.
it, yeah.
Okay, that's dope.
And that's your first project, right?
Yep, that's my first project, and I'm working on my second baby right now.
And that second one is, now that we're getting into that, is that going to be like a detach from that and go further into your life story, or is it going to be something completely different? What do you...
Okay, so the frequency, yeah, that's my life story, and now I'm kind of like moving out of that. I just wanted to let people know what I've been through, how I overcame that, and now this next album is gonna be Libra. Like, this is who she is now, once like out of the trauma.
It's dope, yeah.
Appreciate that.
How did you find your sound?
How did I find my
You
sound?
know, you started very young, but obviously I'm pretty sure your sound progressed from like, let's say you listen to yourself when you was like rapping at 12, 13, 14 up until like right
I
now.
can't stand listening to myself when I was 12, 13. It was trash. Well, one of my main inspirations was J. Cole and like listening to him. And then now one of my current inspirations is like Blast. Blast has encouraged me to like sing a lot more because
Okay.
I've always been able to hold a note. I was front center in the church choir, but I was always scared to sing. I was just like, nah, I'm just going to stick to rapping. That's what they know me for, rapping. But now I'm branching out and starting to try and sing my own hooks and not have people sing them for me.
Okay.
So Cole, Kendrick, just listening to them a lot helped me kind of find my sound and just trying to find that uniqueness. And like Kendrick, the way he like switches his voice up and stuff like that, that's how I tried to mimic that, but then make it my own because I don't ever want to be anybody else.
Did you do any singing on the frequency? Because I heard a couple singings there, but I couldn't
God's Child was me. At the end, Best Song Ever, that was me.
Okay.
So I did showcase a lot of singing, and my mom didn't even know that was me. My whole family didn't know that was me. They were like, "That's you," and
Yeah, because it switches off from like you spit into like the little singing part. I was like, I can't really tell if that's her or not.
yep,
but-
that's me.
Okay. Hey man, I can't wait to hear you on the next one. See what you do with that.
Did you ever have to take any like vocal training classes to sing well, or did you just always have naturally that talent, but you just never tapped into it?
Never tapped into it. I've always like wanted to sing, and I've always like I was singing when I was younger. My mom was like, "You have a great voice," but didn't have that confidence in myself at the time. But then once I got behind the mic and was like, "Oh, okay, you know
I
what?
could do this. Yeah.
I could do this."
Yeah.
Then it just slowly started to come out, and that's why she was shocked when I was singing on the album because she was like, "Are you kidding me? Like you actually listen to me for a change?"
So was your mom always supportive with it?
Always
was it
supportive.
Always.
Never
Since
had
you
a
were
problem.
12,
with it.
she never said like, "Go play outside." What are you doing, writing on a notebook?
Nope. She always supported my dreams. And my biological mom, she lives in Philly, so this is my adopted mom, and she's taken care of me for the past 20 years. So she's been supportive and raised me into the woman that I am, and I'm grateful for
Shout
that.
out to her.
Shout out to Mom.
Would you say that she's your inspiration for music, or do you have what would you say inspires you to write? Or
What
gets you-
inspires me to write is like at a point I was like an angry child, like 12, 13, when I was going through a lot and I didn't really know how to talk to people. I was writing in my notebook, and that's what inspired me to continue to do music, because I was like, okay, I may not be able to talk to people, but this notebook's listening to me, so I'm gonna write out everything that I feel, and whether people feel it or not, I'm getting stuff off my chest. And eventually, you know, I was realizing that I wasn't the only one going through things and that people could relate to what I was on. I was like, oh, okay, I can make a career out of this.
Okay.
Speaking the truth.
Yeah.
Real quick question: are you a Libra?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
October 9th.
Just wondering how the name came about, but
Yep.
pretty straightforward, right?
Yep, I was like, okay, Libra, Liyah, it rhymes. That's cool. Liyah the Libra, I'll
Liyah
keep
the
that.
Libra. Walk us through your process of making music in the studio. Like, do you go in with the songs already written in a notebook, or do you go in the studio, listen to the beat, and then write in the studio?
It's a little bit of both.
Okay.
Sometimes I have songs that are already written that I've done in my room, just sitting in my room writing, and other times I am listening to beats and writing it fresh. But all me.
So you do both. You could just do it just right,
Yep.
right. Is there a specific flow, like your own flow you follow, and then you try to incorporate that when you listen to beat, or do you?
I'm listening to the beat, and I'm like listening to like the punch parts of the beat, and I'm just like, okay, I gotta match it. I try to match the flow with the beat, and I like take out certain words. I'm like, okay, that line's too long, and that's how
I like that because I feel like a lot of artists don't. They do, but a lot of them don't really pay attention to cadences and like rhythms with beats. And the ones that do, you can tell like they're technically like inclined, and they're that much like smarter with music, like musically, just because they're able to like find those pockets and be like, oh, okay, you know, this beat drops here, so I'm gonna drop it like this here, you know, and do
Yeah.
this, and you know that. So that's awesome, yeah.
appreciate you.
You ever get writer's block?
I do get writer's block.
What do you
It
do in that
sucks.
situation?
Do
you
keep
ever
listening
just
to beats?
Okay.
Keep pushing. Try to push through it.
You never just like, oh fuck it, I'm gonna just not write for today. I'm just go ahead and do something else, or like.
I've had those days before.
Right.
But, you know, you get back up the next day, you're just like, okay, I'm going to try again. It's never like I'm going to quit. First you don't succeed, try again.
There you go.
Just watch a badass movie, get some inspiration, and then get back to it.
Yeah,
Just
right.
be
I'll
like,
go
yeah.
take a drive. You know, we got Sillamar. We got all different kinds of places to look at.
Exactly. The coast is a very beautiful place, man.
Truly.
Speaking of the coast, what's your thought on the music scene in the coast?
I'm supportive of everybody in the coast. Love Seaside, always. I'm actually working on a song with Active and Attractive right now.
Okay.
Plan to work with Rock in the future. Shout out to him. He
Shout out
just
to Rock.
mentioned me on Rare As They Come, Don't Tag Me. One of my favorite bars because it had my name in it.
Yeah.
I'm willing to work with anybody, honestly. I feel like we all should come together as a city and all support each other, because that's the only way that we grow, is when we come together, better together always.
Do you see that slowly starting to happen now?
Yeah, I do. I see certain people featuring with other people, and I'm just like, oh, I never thought that would happen, but it's good
Yeah.
to see that. I love it.
I think back in the day, people didn't want to go ahead and make that first step, you know?
Yeah,
just
right.
go ahead and approach people. But like you said, yeah, the more I'm seeing lately is just people collaborating with each other. And
Right.
honestly, it's
It's dope to see.
yeah, it's dope
man.
to see. It's the only way to go ahead and get us out there.
Right. How they
And I
gonna know
feel-
Seaside if we don't come together?
And I feel like that's what was missing, you know, is like you said, you know, as a community, that's what makes city like rap scenes grow, you know, like Detroit, you know, before like Detroit started having their scene, you know, probably nobody thought like, oh shit, you know, like Detroit's got rappers, you know, or, you know, like this city's got rappers, this city's got rappers, Chicago, you know, all this happened because people were out there like collaborating,
And
you know,
pushing it.
putting it out there, pushing, same thing with the Bay Area. So I feel like the more people here in the Central Coast start doing that, you know, the more people are going to be hearing, you know, oh, you know, that's the Central Coast. You know, they got their sound. You know, these are people you should fuck with. You know, this and this and that.
Right. Definitely agree.
What do you think this place is missing, you know, when it comes to just getting more recognition?
What do I think this place is missing?
Like, let's say you go to L.A., and how's the music scene in L.A. compared to how it is over here?
They're turned up out there. A lot of performances going on. I think it's just like the venues out here. They're like really small. I
Right.
think if we had like bigger venues, we have to go to like San Jose or like different places to like have like a big venue and hold a lot of people. So I
Even
feel like-
locally, yeah, I think like the biggest is in Santa Cruz, the Catalyst.
yeah, the Catalyst.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's. I feel like that's the only thing, but I feel like as far as like talent goes, we have a lot of talented people in the Central Coast and a lot of people that have potential.
What do you think we got to do to just get more eyes on them?
Yeah.
Like I know, like for example, the Bay Area, they got Thizzler, right?
Yeah, true.
You think we need like something like that just kind of caters to our area?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I definitely wouldn't mind seeing that. Trying to think.
See Sizzler.
Sizzler. Just call it
The Sizzler. Ooh. Do you think we get copyrighted for that?
I was
If we do
trying to-
Sizzler?
Yeah,
Well, that's like
Yeah.
a restaurant, but I was under the impression they went out of business because I haven't even heard from them in like years, bro.
We call it Sizzler with an A.
Yeah, Sizzler.
Yeah, there we go, Sizzler.
Sizzler, there you go.
I think Sizzler's still around. I just don't think they're here.
Sizzler Seaside, two Sizzler. You gotta start. That's what you gotta do, bro. We gotta have like, because that's like kind of like a rap magazine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like that would help tremendously. Because I know that, because me, this is me speaking from my experience. Because I work as a photographer, videographer. That's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that in Salinas, a lot of like the car scenes and stuff, they have, it's the same thing, you know, like the photographers out there, they have their, magazines, like lowrider magazines, you know, like the 831 Lifestyle magazine, you know, they got like a few magazines, and that helps like push their scene, you know, get them out like to bigger, you know, communities out in like other cities and stuff like that. So I think, you know, exactly like you said, that would really help us if we had somebody really centralize it. But I think part of it is that it takes money, and
Yeah.
everybody's always fucking struggling. You know, they got like their shit going on, so you know nobody's got like the time to really like push it or put.
I
forth.
think it's an investment like anything else. You put money out, you know, but if you continue with it, it'll eventually bring some money back.
Right. That's true.
Or it could just be someone that just wants to be a publisher and wants to just do this as their project. So if you're out there, pick up a notebook, start a magazine. Everybody gonna fuck with it.
Yeah, start drawing or something.
Start drawing.
Yeah, start drawing.
Yeah,
just
please
draw out
do.
You said you gave up at 7 because you couldn't find a word that rhymed with orange.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, did you ever feel like overwhelmed to the point where like I don't want to do this anymore?
Yeah, I had several moments in high school, and it was just because of personal things that I was going through. I was just like, I don't think music's for me, because I don't think like people are gonna understand like what I'm going through. Because when I like get like that, I feel like I'm like enclosed off, like by myself.
Right.
And I did have a few moments, but I always came back to it eventually. I just like, music is my first love, and it'll always be. So eventually I found my way back there, because you can't give up on your dream,
Right.
especially when you come so far.
Right. You said your mom was always supportive, but like, you ever had your friends like, oh, I'm doing this thing, and they're kind of just doubting you a little bit, like,
I've had people that doubted me, but I had more people that loved me that doubted me. So the love always outweighed the hate. I mean,
Okay.
I saw it, and it affected me at times,
Right.
but you know, you always look for the positives and you don't look for the negatives.
yeah.
When you were first like putting out music, like and just getting yourself out there, do you feel like you had like ever any negativity come at you? Like, you know, when you just put yourself out in the internet, sometimes there's just trolls and shit like that.
Yeah, I did have a
Especially
few
now.
trolls. Yeah, I did. Actually, when I first posted the challenge, one of the first comments that I got was, "What did that she say?" Because I had just got over laryngitis, and I have a deeper register anyway.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, I'm gonna take the video off the internet. And I had a group of people surrounded me, and they were like, "No, don't you do that. Don't let one person make you delete your video."
Yeah.
And that was the one thing that got me through and got me to the person that I wanted to see me. So
Right.
if I had listened to myself, I wouldn't be in this position.
Yeah.
I feel like it's difficult sometimes because, you know, you like you said, a lot of people have self-doubts, you know, they got their, and then, you know, you got people that are just fucking assholes on the internet because
Yep.
they can't catch a fade like they would in real life. But then you realize,
Chewy wants to catch the fade. If you're
No,
out
but
there,
I feel
Chewy
like-
wants to smoke.
all the smoke, bro. But yeah, I feel like if you really like, you know, like you said, just push yourself, put yourself out there, and just, you know, not even pay attention to just the negativity, you know, because like you said, you're always gonna find people that are gonna fuck with you regardless, and that are gonna
Right.
show you, you know, like love, that are gonna be like, oh, you know, she's fucking dope, you know, this is somebody I fuck with, and I feel like when you have that, you know, you could just like disregard all the bullshit, you know, and just
Yeah,
be like,
right.
you know, regardless, I'm gonna be, you know, they're gonna be the ones that are bitter and shit. I'm gonna be doing me, you know. So.
Yeah, right. Can't let them stop me.
Yeah, man. Those trolls, majority of the time, or damn near 99% of the time, are just people who are just unhappy with themselves, seeing you doing something.
Right.
They wish they could do
Yes.
what you're doing. You know
Right.
what I mean?
That's
So
what I was
they
just getting ready to say.
Oh man, fuck that. I'm gonna just go ahead and talk shit because that's all I can really do right now. Just
Yeah.
pretty much just talk shit.
That's real though.
Damn, I lost my question. What was the question? Go, Ricky.
You made me lose mine. So you say you moved. What did you say?
I said I moved to Grover Beach.
That's down
Then
in
Grover Street.
That's
San
down in LA,
Andreas.
right?
Nah.
So how was that, like moving from one city to other? Or were you still young? Where
I was
it
in elementary school years, so I went to
Okay.
5 different elementary schools.
Oh shit!
Oh,
How was
shit.
that? Talk about that.
Fuck, making new
okay.
friends all
I
the
moved
time.
once elementary and it sucked because everybody I knew was like just up the street.
It
'cause-
was crazy because, you know, like moving from city to city, because Grover Beach is like by Pismo, and then Santa Clarita obviously is in LA, but like right off the exit of Six Flags is where I lived. It was crazy because like there's still some faces that I see and I don't know where they are because I had to move so many times. So like people have childhood friends and like I have a few friends that I remember from like Colton, Delray Woods, but like I was young, first, second grade then, so I had to come back home and some people remember me and some people didn't, and I had to like reintroduce myself all over again. It was like, where am I from? At first, I didn't really
couldn't
say
claim that.
Seaside at first because I was like, where am I from? Like I don't even know my identity. I had an identity crisis, and it was like, am I from Grover Beach? Am I from LA? Am I, like where am I from? But I was like, no, I was born here. I was raised here. Like my childhood home's in Seaside. I'm from Seaside. Like, say where you're from.
Step in the classroom like, allow me to reintroduce
Use my-
myself. My name is Liyah.
I've been going through the same shit too, because like I told you, like before we started the podcast, I'm actually from LA, and like that's where I grew up. That's where my childhood was, and you know I was there pretty much my whole life and up until adulthood. But then it's weird because I've been here for like a long time too. You know, a large part of my adulthood has been, or all my adulthood has basically been here in Seaside. You know, that's everybody I fucked with has been from Seaside, and also just growing up. When I was little, I used to come out here a lot because my dad's family was out here.
Gotcha.
So, you know, I kind of feel like I'm torn sometimes too. Like, shit, you know, where am I from? Am I really from LA or am I like a Seaside motherfucker? Like, I don't really know, you know?
You're just a sick ass fool.
Yeah. That's all it is.
Have you ever done any performances?
No, I haven't. Getting
Okay.
ready for that though.
When?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Eric's putting a few things together. I'm not sure what that is yet. Just waiting on the time. When he says
He's
go,
just
it's
like,
go.
Just when you hear that
Yep.
phone call.
Gotta
Okay.
be ready.
And when
Right.
you're out here, we'll be there for sure.
Appreciate you
gotta
guys.
go,
I would love
I
to
gotta
see
go
you guys.
support, yeah. That'll be awesome for sure.
You think you'd get any? Well, no, because you said already public spoke like in church and all that, right? So you don't think you get any type of stage fright, anything like that?
No, I love being in front of people. I mean, I always get the like butterflies, like the anxious feeling, but it's never
Yeah.
like nervous, like, oh, I can't do this. Like, it's just like, oh, I want this moment to like come and
You think that's like just because like if you do like, you know, the typical venue where it's like, you know, it's a nice venue, but, you know, it's maybe like 5,000 top, you know, like amount of people. So, and more likely like around 1,000. So it's not going to be like crazy. You know, you feel like you're cool, but do you feel like your stage fright would change if you're doing a huge ass concert like DMX did it that one time with like all those?
I'm not sure. I'd have to be in the moment.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I would feel. I mean, I'm sure I'd be nervous, but like I
Yeah.
said, goes back to the prayer thing. It's just
Oh,
like
yeah.
God gives me the confidence that I don't have,
Yeah.
and He instills that in me. So
And
got
you'll
this.
be there someday. Watch, you'll be doing like huge ass shows like that. And
Yeah.
you'll be thinking back. You're like, shit. I remember when like
I
they
was
were
doing it. Like,
yeah,
yep.
yeah.
Any advice you can give to like artists? Because I know there's plenty of artists out there that haven't done performances either. And we've spoken to some like I probably get a little nervous or I don't know, but any like word of advice you can give to them? Just go ahead.
Word of advice, authenticity. Like I said, it goes back to the realists are going to draw to you and the fake aren't. And it's just like you have to be yourself always. And as long as you're yourself, that's all that matters. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the only advice I can give.
Okay.
So just be yourself, everybody.
Yeah, stop trying to be someone else, man.
It's,
Trying to
it's,
be
hard,
someone
it's
else.
2021, bro. It's harder than you think. Everybody's trying to be somebody else. Halloween's coming up, bro. I'm trying to be somebody else.
Trying to be Mikael. Mikael Myers.
Mikael Myers.
That's crazy.
Speaking of which, are you gonna dress up for Halloween? Is that like a thing you still do, or are you?
I wasn't planning on it, no. I'll be Libra for Halloween.
Yeah,
Be me.
yeah. Like fuck it, I'm gonna just be in my room writing,
Yeah.
talking hella shit.
Spooky bars.
Yeah,
Spooky
just
bars.
some a
There you
quick
go.
Halloween 16.
Yep. I might.
You say you
That's,
live in
that's
Alvarado?
actually hard. Spooky bars.
Spooky
Yeah.
bars.
Just drop it on the 31st.
Yeah,
I
just
should.
Mhm.
yeah,
I
drop
just
a
gave
quick,
myself
quick.
my own idea.
quick.
There you
Yeah.
go. So you said you're working on your next album right now.
Yep.
Is there anything you can talk about that yet, or
Okay.
keeping it in the tuck a little bit?
So
still?
far, I got 13 tracks.
Is
like
that
I
the
said,
cutoff, or are you planning to add more?
I'm planning on adding more. Like I always keep it open. I feel like album's not done until the final day.
Right.
So it's like I'm always tweaking and like, oh, okay.
Do you feel like it's going to be like a standard size album, like around 15, 16 tracks?
Yes.
Or do you think it's going to be like a double LP where it's like hella tracks, like 30 tracks? Or?
Nah, I feel like it'll be 15, 16. I feel like I'll keep it. And again, it's like, it's Libra now. It's not my life story. So it's like more hype songs, like radio type songs.
Shit, yeah.
So,
turn up stuff.
Yeah, it's time to turn up. Yeah.
That's what's up, yeah.
How do you feel about like the 10-track albums? You know what I mean? Because nowadays people are just kind of condensing. Back in the day it was like 20 tracks. Now it's like, oh, they're trying to like maybe 9, 10, 11.
If that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. I mean, let me see. How many tracks was The Frequency? I'm not sure.
I think it was 16.
I think I
feel
had
like-
16.
I feel like that trend is happening because people have like shorter attention spans
Yeah,
than they
they do.
used to. So that's the same reason, you know, like you said, you know, they would tell you like, oh, you know, you got to cut down your hooks because it's the same thing, you know. People don't have like, I mean, they should, you know, like if they fuck with music and an artist, you know, they should be like, oh, you know, I'm a listen to the whole catalog. I'm a really, you know, like dissect, you know, this and every bar. But most people, you know, the truth is they're always busy, you know, they got shit going on. So most
Right.
people don't actually like listen to something unless, you know, like they get like what they're trying to listen to from it like pretty quick. So
Right.
I feel like that's what's kind of condensed everything down and everybody's like, oh, you know,
A lot of shit like Vine, dude, like
Yeah.
6-second videos, and that's what people just got used to. Man.
yeah,
It's
like they're like nobody's gonna like TikTok, you know, TikTok
Yeah.
videos are not very long either, you know, because nobody's gonna spend their time, you know, like these days, you know, you would think, but you know, people are like, oh, I'm not gonna spend, you know, the whole 30-track album, you know, listening through it from the beginning to end. You know, I'm only gonna listen to like half of that, and I think that's what started, you know, that trend towards, you know, shortening it, cutting out, you know, like songs that maybe would have been a little bit more filler or like not as like radio ready. Because I feel like in the past, you know, a lot of albums, like they had like also, you know, like a lot of personal songs, you know, like some deep shit, you know, some going through life shit. But I feel like they're starting to cut that out, you know, just to appeal to, you know, what they got to appeal to in the industry. Like,
Right.
oh, you know, people aren't going to like listen to that unless, you know, like they're in some type of mood. Most of the time they're going to want this shit, you know, like hyphy shit. They're going to want this, you know, so.
everybody kind of gravitates to their own sound,
Yeah.
whatever they want to listen to at the moment.
That's true. So you said you had 13 down,
Yep.
but you said, do you say you delete some? So would you say you write like 20 songs and keep 13 out of them, or do you keep every song you record?
I keep every song because I might have a bar that I might come back to or something. So I never want to delete my work, but I might condense it. I might do 10, I might do 13, I might do 20. It just depends on how I feel, what I feel makes the cut, what I feel doesn't make the cut. And what doesn't make the cut normally will make the cut sometime later
Just
on
throw
down
it
the
in as a
line.
different-
Yeah. Might throw it on as a bonus on the next album.
You
I
working
feel
with Eric on this as well, or just are you working with Eric with this on this as well?
Normally I have like projects that are already done. I just present it to him.
Okay.
I've done an album in 8 hours before in front of him.
Wow.
Actually, yeah.
That's working.
Actually,
That's
it was
worth
the
ethic
frequency.
right there, the talent.
Shit.
So does he? How does the process go? Since you're signed to him, you give him the project, or he's there throughout the whole project, and then he says, "Okay, this is good," or it's kind of. You said he had artist freedom, so does he say, "Okay, here's my work," and then he goes like, "Okay, well, let's publish it."
Yeah, that's pretty much
That's
the
pretty
last
much
one
it.
because most of the time I'm not in LA, so normally I'm like writing in my room. So most of the time the project's already done by the time I get to LA, and it's just like, okay, this is what I have, and he looks through it and he's like, okay, this, whatever you feel like needs to be tweaked, tweak it, and it gets published. That's what happened with The Frequency. He's just like, okay, let's throw it out there. This is what you want. Cool.
That's dope.
Did you get to meet any other artists through Eric?
Have I met
Or
anybody
just in the studio,
so far?
like any people?
At his birthday party, I met Tisha Campbell from Martin. That was cool.
Oh, shit.
AD was in the building. I'm trying to think of who else was in the building that night.
Which AD? Anthony Davis?
No, not Anthony Davis. It's AD. He's from LA.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Let me see. I don't think I met anybody else that night. I know there was a whole bunch of people, but I was like 17 when that happened, so I was so in the moment because I was in a club. Yeah.
They snuck you in the
Yeah,
club?
it's like we passed security. He was like talking to security, and I ran right through.
Any life experiences you've learned
Like with music or just like
with music and like say like sneaking into the club like at 17, stuff like that?
that the club wasn't all it was made out to be. That it was
Really?
just a whole bunch of adults, most of them coming from work, smelt terrible. Like, because at 17, I was like, okay, I can't wait to turn 21. I can't wait to go in the club. I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to do that. And I'm like, once I got in there, I was like, oh, this is what y'all do every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like, this is it. Like,
Rush out of work and
I was like, oh, okay, it's just an
Go get
amplified
drunk.
high school dance. Like,
That's the problem with
That's a
clubs.
good
Is
way to
that,
put it.
that's the problem with clubs. Is it's one of those places where like you'll have the time of your life if you're drunk, but if you're sober, it's gonna be like the most annoying shit.
yeah, because I came out, couldn't
Yeah.
hear speakers
Yeah.
going in my ears.
I went to San Francisco to like you gotta go to San Francisco go to like 18 and up clubs and stuff like that, and it sucked. I ain't gonna lie, it fucking sucked. you
Yeah, I've
know?
never been.
City
Didn't
Night.
want to go.
Huh?
you went to like City Nights or something? Or what?
No, what was it?
You
It's
didn't
like
do-
a
you
strip,
didn't do-
and they have like 5 different clubs right there in San Francisco. I forget what it was called.
You didn't do any LSD tabs before you went in?
No,
Sickety tripping
no,
out?
I wasn't into all that stuff. It was just like me, my cousin, and my friends. We all turned 18. It's like, oh, where can we go clubbing? Like you said, you know. We look up some 18 and over clubs in San Francisco, so we get there, and it's like, oh shit, like this is whack.
Terrible. I wasn't never really a party person anyway, so I wanted to go just because it was his birthday party, but I've always been a like, I want to be in the house type person. You had to beg me to come out. You still have to beg me to come out.
Do you feel like, since you're like a little bit more introverted, do you feel like he's ever like kind of said that that's gonna be an issue with music, or like that you have to be more
because
like?
I'm like extroverted and introverted at the
Yeah.
same time. It's like I do what I want to. I don't have a
Yeah.
problem saying no. Like it's just
Yeah.
like if I don't want to do that, if I feel like I don't like. How do I put it? Okay, I like kickbacks. I like picking the people
Yeah.
that I'm with,
That
but
you're
I don't
with,
like
yeah.
the big like parties.
Yeah.
Like I'm not one of those people.
I feel you.
I'm exactly the same way. I agree with you. I feel like, I do like, to have fun and enjoy, drinking, having time with, homies. But it's the same thing. It's got to be people that like I fuck with. I
Yeah,
can't really,
I gotta trust myself around.
I can't
who I'm
really be
around.
like in, not that I can, but like I prefer not to because it's just annoying and you get a lot of like drama and unnecessary
Right.
shit. So yeah,
unnecessary noise. I'm
yeah.
a person that likes to keep it at a minimum.
Are you in school at the moment or?
Oh yeah, I am
Okay.
majoring in journalism.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was gonna ask, like, if it wasn't music, what else would you have kind of leaned towards?
I majored in journalism because I wanted to be like a news anchor, and I said that if I didn't make it in rap, I was gonna put myself on, like I was gonna be a news anchor and just mention myself like one
Just
day.
rap on air.
The day you go quit, the day you got promotion.
Yep.
So the
Check
weather
me
is
out.
check.
Or like
You
a
go
sports
viral.
analyst, like be on the sideline. I wanted to talk to like players or like talk to like certain celebrities. I wanted to do that.
Okay. Is there another talent that maybe we might not know about? We know you're talented when it comes to the rap. Is there
Another
maybe like a
talent.
secret
I like
talent?
being in the kitchen. If you know me, I like being in the kitchen. I like cooking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of
What's-
food do you make? Like, do you have like
What's your dish?
like an
What's my
ethnic?
dish?
Like, do you stick to one like type of food, like Italian, African?
I'm a pasta
you know?
person, but I do know how to make soul food because my mom that raised me, she's up in age a little bit. Sorry, mom, don't mean to say it like that, but she has a lot of wisdom, and she taught me like recipes and certain stuff. So I just like sit there and I watch her. Like I was watching her earlier. I have a pot roast sitting in the house right now,
She probably
waiting
makes
for
like
me.
some bomb ass gumbo and stuff.
Yup.
Yeah.
Falling apart. The pot roast. I can't wait.
I just got hungry right now. Pot roast on fire.
Yeah.
Wish you would have brought some samples.
Yeah.
She wasn't done yet.
Ah,
We're gonna need you to throw kickback and cook one of these days so we can stop by.
Most
Yeah.
definitely. I don't mind.
Okay, so what's your favorite song out of the Frequency album?
My favorite song, probably God's Child. If not that, then Commotion.
Okay.
there's any reason why?
God's Child, I've been up and down, but they know that I'm coming around. That just was like a personal like note to myself. Like, it doesn't matter what you go through, just remember that you're God's child. Commotion, because it was like my first hype song. Everybody was like, oh, wow, they heard the beat, and they were like,
Yeah.
Libra on a beat like this? Like, really? Because, like I said, my inspirations was Cole and Kendrick, so normally I would kind of stay in that range. I would never
Yeah.
get to like the hyphy beats.
Yeah. No, that's what kind of caught my ear too, cause like the whole album was pretty mellow, you know what I mean? And then, boom, that beat comes on. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, let me see what she about to do on this.
Okay.
Killed it.
You're not drunk enough. Just drink some more.
That's probably what it is, huh? That's probably
Sorry
what it
for the
is, huh?
technical difficulties.
Ronnie still needs a little bit more alcohol in the system.
What are you listening to at the moment? What's on your rotation?
Ooh, my rotation. There's a lot of blasts on my rotation right now. Like I said, he's encouraged me to branch out with singing. Let's see. Obviously, Eric Bellinger. If you haven't listened to New Light, check that out. Artist, his name, he goes by December, but
Spells it
DCMBR.
yeah.
Yep. Let's see what else. I'm looking through my playlist right now. Obviously, Kendrick, Mozzie, Bino.
Bino.
Let's see who else. Inhale. That's Nate Dogg's son. Really like his music. One of my favorite songs right now. Play It Safe.
Inhale.
Yeah, Inhale.
I might have to look that up.
Yeah, he sounds just like his dad. I mean, he has his own sound. He's
shit.
Inhale, but like
Right.
you can
Oh,
just
man,
tell
if
that's Nate Dogg's son.
If he sounds like his
idea.
dad, you're gonna have to get him on a hook.
Yep.
For that Nate Dogg hook.
I've been waiting for that Inhale feature.
Okay, so that's on the rotation. What would you say your favorite album of all time would be?
Ooh, my favorite album of all time. I will never forget 2014 Forest Hills Drive.
Okay.
Yep.
I have that album on vinyl too.
Ooh, so do I.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I got when I got a record player. I was like, yeah, I have to get that.
Any
Yeah.
specific reason? It hit home? Like,
Yeah, it did hit
Okay.
home. Just listen to him talk about like his life story. That's what kind of encouraged me to write The Frequency. I was like, okay, I'm gonna kind of do it like that. Go in that order.
Have you had like any music videos?
No, not yet. Working
Okay.
on that. I'm gonna do some for this upcoming album.
Oh, that's awesome.
You're not gonna
yeah.
record anything for? off of the old
He
stuff?
was saying that I should do one for God's Child because it like kind of reminds him of like driving down the coastline. I might come back to it. I feel like I should.
Maybe
heard it here
just
first.
one. I mean,
Just one.
yeah.
God's Child or Commotion. Or maybe city to city. I was thinking about like going to like all the different cities that I was talking about that I moved to and just like recording in
Little
those different
snippet
cities.
of each-
Yeah.
That'd be dope too.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Like have little clips of each city driving by.
Yep.
On City to City, I think you mentioned Amador. I wasn't sure if you was talking about the street or if you.
Yes.
okay.
Amador Avenue. Yep.
There we go.
I lived in the house with the red door right across from Embassy Suites.
Oh, I know where it's at. Yeah.
Yep. That was my
Wow,
house.
That's crazy. I live on the other side of the what's that little playground?
Oh fuck.
little school.
Yeah.
Luna?
Yeah. Salvation Army.
Yeah.
I live right on the other side. So when you say
Sheesh.
Amador, I was like, oh shit, that's the block, yo.
You're like that's the hood.
Yeah.
I'm trying to buy that house back.
Hell yeah. No, you will for sure.
Will. Manifestation.
There you go.
Do you feel like there's anything that you would impart like knowledge to somebody that like looks up to you? Because you feel like you might still be young, but there's always somebody looking up to you. I feel like we don't think about that a lot of times, but if you're doing stuff, if you're always doing what you got to do, you're always working. I feel like there's always going to be somebody like, oh, I want to be like her. And if you knew somebody that was looking up to you, what would you tell them?
Keep God first, number one. And when you find that thing, don't let nobody tell you that you can't do something because you could do anything that you put your mind to. And that's what I feel like I would tell people always, because I had certain people, like I said, doubt my dream. Me, myself, doubted myself at times. And sometimes I still do. I have my moments. I have my faults. But as long as you keep that one thing and realize what the end goal is, all the other little stuff, it doesn't matter.
You grew up in the church?
Yes, I did.
You ever found yourself kind of maybe like straying away a little bit?
At times, because I felt like they didn't understand me at times. Like, especially when I was first getting signed, they were like, okay, well, she's going into the music industry. I had, not all people, not going to say everybody in the church, but I had some people come up to me. They're like, okay, she's going to perform in clubs, drugs, alcohol, like certain things, like how's she going to handle those things? But I've seen certain things in life where I was already prepared for that.
Okay.
So it's like, I know what to do and I know what not to do. I know right from wrong. And, if I do slip up and make a mistake, people make mistakes. Everybody in the church is not perfect.
Yeah.
And it's like even though you have the clergy on, you may be a pastor, you may be an evangelist, you may be a deacon, whatever you are, you still have faults. And it's like,
Did that
We all
hurt
fall
you a
short.
bit, like being so involved with the church when people started lightweight criticizing the
yeah.
route you wanted to take? Did that hurt you in any way?
Yeah, it did hurt. But like I said, love outweighs the hate. I had more love than I had hate. You know, though you have those few people, like I said, always. But like you said, they're in a position where they couldn't do what I'm doing right now, or they wish they were doing what I was doing.
Just
so I
envious,
just had to remember that, and I was like, okay, it's all right if you want to be where I'm at. It's cool.
Like, I love where I'm at.
I love where I'm at. I'm comfortable with myself.
Yeah.
You're like, get your money up.
Right. You're spending all that time talking.
Where would you like to see yourself, like, within the next 5 years, or just within next year once everything opens up?
Ooh, within the next 5 years, I definitely want to own a few properties. 5 years, would I be 25? Graduated college because I'm still getting that degree.
That's right.
Megan Thee Stallion just graduated, I believe. Because if I was in her position, I don't know. I feel like I would have been like, oh, well, I'm making all this money. What do I need a degree for?
You think so? You think once all that money will come in?
Yeah, I think so. But my mom's keeping me level-headed. Like I said, she's just like, get your degree. Make sure you have something to fall back on just in case. You always have to have a plan B.
And sometimes it's even just, you know, for like self-growth, you know, it's like, oh, you know, I had the drive to be able to, like, you know, get my education in. And I got that degree,
That's what my mom was saying. And I believe that too.
Were you always good in school, like growing up?
Good in English. I sucked at math though.
Okay. Just because your vocabulary is crazy. So, like, I mean, I just figured.
Terrible. But, yeah, when I was younger, in preschool, the superintendent of Monterey County had to be called because I was reading Harry Potter chapter books in preschool, and they couldn't believe that I was reading so fluently. And so they called. They were like, this little girl has to read in front of you. Because my mom told me a story, and she said that one day she was reading to me, and I took the book out of her hand, and I said, I don't want you to read to me. I want to read to you. And she thought that, like, maybe I had just, like, memorized the book from her reading it so many times, but I actually knew I was reading.
That's crazy.
That's
I didn't pick
dope,
up a Harry
man.
Potter book till like the 7th grade, yo. Like,
I still haven't read one, bro. I just watched the movies.
It's the audiobooks for me.
like, man, just play the movie. Play the movie.
Just play the movie.
Just watch the movies, fool.
So, have you ever read the dictionary? I know some
I
people
have.
say, like, you read the dictionary if you really want to learn some new words.
Yeah, I have read the dictionary, and I was, like, heavy in, like, the thesaurus and, like, trying to find bigger words from what I was saying. I didn't want to just use, like, the basic words. I was like, okay, what's a new word to use and try to rhyme with that just to be different. Okay. And I still do.
I feel like it helps because I have one of those. It's an app, but I have like one of those. Learn like a new word, but with me it's Spanish because that was I have a bachelor's degree in Spanish. Every day I still try to like learn new shit.
Right.
And I have one of those like apps that tells you like, oh, today's like, you know, word of the days, and you know it could be like some fucking word I never heard before, but that's what kind of keeps it in rotation. You know, and it's like
the Sesame Street app.
Yeah, like Sesame Street, bro. Just like today's number is 5. And then I get to learn how to count, fool.
Like, can you say 5?
Yeah. I feel special about it.
When back to like kind of like the vibe in the studio, I know a lot of people will be like, "Oh, I can't rap until I have some drink in me. Or I can't rap unless I smoke, or like I need to be smoking." Is there anything that you need to go ahead and get you started? Even if it's like,
No.
yo, I just need like, just give me like a Coke or something like that. Like
Sprite's my thing.
Sprite.
I'll normally have Sprite or water, but like as far as like drink and smoke, I don't need to do that to get hyped up.
You rather be in the studio with people or by yourself?
I'm good with people. I'm good by myself. Most of the time I'm by myself when I'm in Eric's studio. It'd normally be just the engineer or him sitting in there if it is people, but sometimes he's not there. So I'm best by myself, though. I'll say, like, I'm in my zone. I'm just like, okay. I feel more comfortable singing by myself than in front of people.
Yeah.
Do you sing in the shower?
Yeah, I do. And I sound great.
The vocals in there is
The
crazy.
crazy.
The acoustic in there.
My mom hates it, though.
You got a mic set up in there? Just start recording while you're in there?
Nah.
Oh, that's funny.
Any poetry? Did you ever do poetry?
I did do poetry.
Was that before rap?
That was before rap, and then
Okay.
I just started putting beats behind it, and I was like, oh, okay. That's when I started trying to, like, figure out my sound.
When you listen to certain rappers, can you tell the ones that like, oh, I could tell you started with poetry first, and then you kind of dove into this rapping thing?
Yeah,
Or
I
is it-
can.
Okay.
I can tell
Who off top? Can you just be like,
Kendrick,
okay.
Cole, think of somebody else. That's all I got right now.
Right. You think like, because those are two, like when they rap, like they get really deep into it. Do you
Right.
think you have to have like maybe start off with poetry or some type of shit like that to go ahead and get to the level of where they're at, or yourself?
No, I don't feel like that. I feel like if you could start off wherever, and you just have to be dedicated to what you're doing. If you're dedicated to learning the craft, you can get to where I'm at. You can get to where Kendrick's at. You can get to where Cole's at. It just depends on how much you study.
Okay.
If you study the game and know the game, it'll come out of you. Whatever you're, like they say, whatever you do comes out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel like it is with rap.
Kind of become second nature. Do you have like is Libra like an alter ego? Do you have your own personal self, or is it just you?
It's me all
in
together.
the booth, out the booth.
It's me all together. I just feel like I'm Libra, I'm Liyah. You can address me as whatever, but it's all the same person.
Okay.
I don't feel like I'm two different people.
Do you have any questions for us?
Nah. I was just nervous because this is my first interview. I decided to make you guys this is the first time I'm sitting down and like actually like talking with people.
Have you not been asked before?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Well, you heard it here first.
I don't really like to call these interviews. I like to call these more like just a conversation.
Conversation,
Yeah.
got you. So this is my first conversation.
Any name for the upcoming album that's gonna come out, or you don't want to go ahead and?
The
put that?
liberal.
The
Oh,
liberal.
that's sick.
The liberal instead of the liberal. Liberal.
That's dope.
That's what I want to do. Is between that and swine uncultured.
Why is that? Swine uncultured?
Yeah. Because I feel like this next album that's coming out, I'm like talking. I'm like actually like I'm talking to the people that doubted me. I'm talking to the people. I'm just like, oh, you really thought that I
So you're
wasn't?
talking some shit.
Yeah. Like you thought I wasn't her. Okay, well let me remind you all the things that I've done so far up to this point, and how many things are coming up next. And if you didn't like me now, you're really not gonna like me now.
Okay. Another question I got is like, who do you want to go ahead and work with that is, already up there? Besides Eric, who would you want to work with that's like an actual up there type of artist?
I want a feature from Blast.
And you can't say J. Cole.
I can't say J. Cole. Okay, Blast, Inhale, Nate Dogg's son, I would love. Doggy Style, Snoop Dogg just signed him not too long ago. I would like a feature from him. Tiana Taylor, SZA, and Cole's out the picture because he said I can't say Cole. So there we go.
So I'm
Okay.
still gonna say it.
Have you heard of D Smoke? He does kind of like
Yes,
that
I
type
have.
of,
I love D Smoke. I would love to get a feature from him too.
Yeah,
I was tripping out when that's Sir's brother. Like,
Yeah.
I was tripping out, yo.
Oh, and Joey Fats.
Joey Fast, damn. You think the upcoming album is gonna be like very LA sounding? You named like a few LA.
Yeah.
So it sounds gonna be very LA.
Yeah, that's where I'm leaning toward right now in terms of like beats. That's where I'm at right now.
You ever get inspiration from like maybe like down south, like New
Yeah.
Orleans type of style, like?
Nah, I wouldn't say that right now, but I do like their sound. Yeah.
Any last questions? I got one last question. That's it.
No, go ahead.
A last question, but I did, actually, I'll just remind her after you ask the question. It's just a reminder.
Okay. Yeah, it has nothing to do with music. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
No, not to me.
Okay.
Just kick the camera. That's it. This is
I'm
over.
like a meat lovers pizza
Straight
type
up.
person. Yeah,
See?
that's where I'm at. I mean,
Does that mean you can't eat cheese pizza? Like if it's plain, you're like, I can't.
no, I can eat it. I'll eat it.
Just not pineapple sugar. Come on.
Just not.
Just not pineapple.
It's just on site if you see
I
pineapple.
love pineapple like just on its own. I just
Yeah.
don't feel like
It just
pineapple and like pizza sauce is just not that blend. Is just not.
What about
I've tried it though before. I'm not just gonna say pineapple don't go on pizza, and I never tried it.
right.
You've
I
tried it.
I personally don't like it.
what about ranch on pizza?
I love ranch.
You know, it's a very underrated one.
Don't say ketchup.
No,
Oh, please don't.
pepperoni
Don't
pizza,
say ketchup.
pepperoni and pesto pizza, bro.
Oh, I've never had
Pesto, like with the white sauce?
No,
Nah.
pesto's,
No, pesto's green
pesto's
sauce.
the green like.
you gotta
It's like
drip?
herb.
The one they do with the chicken pasta thing?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Drizzle it on top. Fuego.
Where you get that at?
Oh, I just got a regular
just
pepperoni
made
pizza
it.
and I just.
Oh, drizzle pesto.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta try that.
He
I gotta
just-
get back to you on that.
He just concocts it in the kitchen. He does some crazy Frankenstein
know
shit.
what I stole the Whole Foods recipe.
Spooky
when I worked
slice.
there.
The spooky pizza. That's
The
what he
spooky
calls
slice.
it. Yeah, the spooky slice.
Slice.
Well, you guys have heard of people, using ketchup on their pizza?
No,
I
Bro,
have
that's
not.
good.
And I've
Is
seen.
it?
Yeah.
Bro, I've seen
Fuck
someone
no.
that
It's
I was
good.
tripped out. I was younger. We went to go eat at Mount
Bro, you're
Mike's.
eating tomato on it anyway. What difference is it? It's just
It's
a different kind of tomato.
flavor.
Nah.
I don't know. And
Nah.
I
I'm
see
not
really
this
a
one just
ketchup
go,
person, so-
just straight
I can't eat it
ketchup.
though because I get heartburn anyway. But
With ketchup?
yeah, oh, I get heartburn with tomato. I'm
have
like,
a Tums, dude.
yeah. It's because of my thyroid and shit. I get like chronic heartburn, so I gotta kind of like stay away from like tomato and shit.
But you love ketchup, though, right?
Yeah, so it's fucking hard, bro.
I
How do you think I've been coping? I've been having to like do some Adderall, like snort some Adderall and get my mind off it.
I seen somebody eat pizza with a fork and knife one time, and I wanted to burn the whole pizza building down.
Oh, that's
Oh, shit.
sad.
Yeah.
Okay, that I've never seen. I'll admit I've never seen that shit.
Actually, I have seen that in New York. I saw somebody doing that.
In New York, of all places.
Yes.
But it's different because they be having those deep ass fucking pizzas.
Not
What are they, like-
Chicago, I thought.
That's
Oh, that's
Chicago with the
right.
deep
Yeah,
dish,
Chicago has the deep
New
dish.
York
having
is
the
like
thin
them
ass-
thin, yeah, them
yeah.
big,
Yeah, and they're
big
using a
slices.
fucking yeah.
Can't stand New York.
Why?
Because when I went to New York, I saw like two like huge rats.
Oh,
shit.
they're really like.
They're really like huge.
Like they're really there. I know
Like-
I've
like
heard people
possum
talk about
size?
it.
Yeah, and it's like terrifying.
Are they like everywhere though? Is like
No,
a
they're
thing?
not everywhere, but it happened to be raining when I went, and it terrifying, absolutely horrific.
Fucking master.
So they really got. That's what I was gonna say. They really got mutant turtles. Down.
You're like shit. Is that a cat? Oh shit! It's a
And it was
rat.
dark too. I didn't know what it was, and I flashed the light, and I was like, "Nah,
This city ain't for
I'm
me.
a
It's
California."
just staring you down. Like do something, man. The rat.
Ooh, no, it was running into the gutter. I was like, "Ooh."
All right, man. So, for the people who are watching, let the people know where they can go ahead and reach you at, where they can stay updated at, and what's next for them to go ahead and.
Got you.
expecting.
You can follow me on Instagram at Liyah The Libra. Make sure you spell it right, Liyah. What's next? We got the Libra. Got an album dropping shortly, December, early January. You can find me on Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, all the good stuff.
So when they look you up on like SoundCloud and everything like that, like Spotify, do they type in Libra or they type in Liyah The Libra?
Okay, you type in Libra.
Okay, because I found a little trouble finding you on Spotify earlier.
Spotify, that's because Spotify has me merged with somebody else. It's
I
another
noticed
group.
that too. It was weird.
And I don't know why that is. I'm trying to get it fixed, though.
Okay.
It'll be fixed shortly.
I feel like that happens with some artists because I saw that recently with like
Because they're also named Libra.
with another artist that I know that like they're signed as well, you know, and but they're like not like super big. So they kind of like combine them with like somebody else that's like smaller, and it's like, oh, both of them are the same artist, but they're not.
Fucking Spotify be fucking up.
And it's like in a language I don't even know.
Yeah.
Go to
They're
title.
dissing you. Turns out they got like hella
Like,
beef
see,
with you.
like the cat picture. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I clicked on that. I was like, what is this?
Is she trying something new?
Turns out they're hella dissing you. They're all like, man, screw her for taking my name. I'm a diss. You're gonna have to come
Will
back.
the real Libra
Just,
please stand up?
you're gonna have to write one of those songs, the real Libra.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, man. You gonna drop spooky bars on the 31st or what?
Yeah, I should actually. Now that I came up with the idea, I should follow through with it. Spooky bars coming
You-
on the 31st.
You heard it here first.
All right, man. Anything else y'all want to say?
Thank you for
Just,
coming.
yeah, thank
We really
you.
I'm grateful to be
appreciate
here.
it.
Thank you
Man,
for having me.
Appreciate
Yeah, we
you
really
coming through.
appreciate you. Thank you so much. You're talented. Everybody
Extremely
knows. You know, you're
talented.
extremely talented. And,
Appreciate you.
you know, it's just up from here. So thank you so much, and we're gonna wish you the best success moving forward.
Appreciate y'all.
Till then, man. Slide through.
Slide through.
All right.
Hey, Kat, can you tell the people where they could get their Slide Through podcast merch?
Absolutely. So y'all gonna go over to the Slide Through Podcast IG, click on that conglomerate by the sea.com link. Go onto the left side, that sandwich bar, click on that. Click on the Slide Through Podcast clothing. Then you're gonna scroll down to that image where you see the Slide Through Podcast crew neck. Click on that, and there you go. You see the sizes small through 2X. Thank y'all for the support.